Not. I was telling your daughter this, right? I was like, so I told her Jamaicans, we don't make good mac and cheese. That's not our forte. I will yield to. I think Haitians make good mac and cheese, like Haitian macaroni, good because they put all the bell peppers and all that in their macaroni. Now I never had Bahamian mac and cheese, so I can't tell you nothing about it.
It's the bomb. This elbow macaroni you tell you, we don't use that. Skinny stuff. No, we don't do that. That Haitian macaroni with that banana.
Yeah, like panini, something like that.
Yeah, we don't do that. But that's why I see myself for the next 5 years. In my own home, have my own restaurant. I mean, when I tell you, full flow.
I understand. Listen, I'll be the first person to buy a plate. Now, let me ask you a question. Miss Gisette, what are you doing for work right now?
Currently I'm at Dunkin' Donuts. I just got a raise. I'm a shift lead at Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, you're, okay.
I was at Walmart, but because of distance, I let that go.
I understand. Well, I'll tell you this.
Because of the overnight thing, I let that go.
What? I know Amazon workers work hard. You know, I know that warehouse is like I understand. Where Amazon will work you.
Yeah, but I was with Amazon. I was with a cleaning company in there.
Okay.
I was with an agency when I first started. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. So, Mr. Josette, it's 3 things I'm going to go over with you here today. Now, one is a part-time opportunity. Now, Mr. Josette, it may not necessarily be for yourself, but I do understand in today's time of hyperinflation, everybody wants some sort of side income, side business, something they can do to bring some more money into the household. Well, second thing is, ma'am, our company, Primerica. Now, I know you never really heard of us before, but I like to say we teach people how money works. Like, Mr. Josette, let me ask you, ma'am, do you work hard for your money?
Very.
Well, ma'am, I'm a firm believer your money should work hard for you. What does that mean? Your money's tied into equity, stock, real estate property. Whatever it is, your money's working for you and making you more money. Does that make sense? Now, ma'am, last thing is this, right? If it's one thing me and you could agree on, it's that business owners get paid completely different than employees. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, on that note, so I'm going to show you a brief presentation on what is that your daughter's getting involved in. Now, our number one goal here is today that you like what we're doing so much that you might be open to get involved with us or doing business with your daughter, or that you like what we do so much that you might even be willing to refer some people over to us, all right? Fantastic, ma'am. Now, on that note, let me share my screen. And give me 1 second while I get the presentation pulled up. Give me 1 second. Now, I just recently heard about this Bahamian holiday called Junkanoo. You guys ever participated in that?
Junkanoo, yeah, that's the last one, right?
Yeah, I mean not the last one, but I was in it.
You was a part of the parade. It's like Bahamian Carnival.
Huh?
It's like a Bahamian Carnival.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Destiny was a part of it.
Nah, Destiny, you never told me that. But I'll tell you this. So, first things first. Alright, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, first things first, let me read you a couple of credibilities about our company. Now, I want you to know something, ma'am. We're actually the largest independent financial services marketing company in all North America. Miss Gisette, what does that mean? Ma'am, we're in all 50 states, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Guam. We're also a publicly traded company, listed here on the New York Stock Exchange and a PRI. Miss Gisette, I'm not sure if you're into investment, stocks, that kind of thing. Here's what, ma'am. I definitely recommend you invest in our business because our business is booming. See, we actually been around since 1977. Ma'am, we got over five.
I born in 1977.
All right, you about the same age as the company. We got over 2.5 million lives insured and over 5 million investment clients. Now, ma'am, let me ask you a question. If you were to go buy a flat screen TV right now, where would you go?
On Amazon.
All right, let me ask you a question then, Mr. Said. Have you ever seen a TV made by Amazon?
No, I don't think so.
Now, how this works is real simple. We know what? Ma'am, companies like Walmart, Amazon, they don't make anything. See, Mr. Said, they are working what we call the distribution business. Simply meaning what? Well, you worked at Walmart. All they do is what? Sell the products and services of other companies and share the profits.
Yeah.
Now, Primerica, we work the same exact way, ma'am, except we don't deal in retail products like a Walmart or electronic products like a Best Buy. See, Miss just said what me and your daughter help people in is financial services. So we're like a Walmart, but finance, and Amazon, but finance. So, for example, me and your daughter, we help people with life insurance. We also help people with retirement plans. Ma'am, that being 401k plans, annuities and investments, mutual funds. We also help people with legal and identity protection. So I show people how they can set up a will, LLC, traffic tickets, anyone need help with legal trouble. We do car and home insurance. Our home insurance,
You do LLC?
LLC, we do all that. You want to start a business? I'll show you how to, I got lawyers that can help you set up an LLC.
You ever find intentionally this LLC?
Boom, you see, listen, I was telling you, there's a lot of ways for you to make money with us. We do car and home insurance, home security cameras through Vivint. We do health insurance for seniors, and we also help people with mortgages. You know anyone trying to buy a house? Well, we help them get a mortgage to buy or refinance the house. Now, can I tell you one thing I loved about this company, Miss just said?
Go ahead.
Ma'am, there's over 8 different ways to make money with us. See, I'm not sure about you, but I'd rather make money 8 different ways than just one, right?
Sure.
Now, Mr. Set, let me ask you a question. I know how you and your daughter, you guys been in the U.S. for about what, 3-5 years now?
3,
4 years now. All right. Well, I'm assuming you probably never went to school here, and I think Miss Brittany barely went to, Miss Destiny barely went to school here. But I tell you, with the education you got in Bahamian, because I heard Caribbean islands got really good education. Let me ask you, when it comes to this financial aspect of our lives, I mean life insurance, 401k plans, annuities, investments, mutual funds, mortgages, ma'am, how much of this information do you think was taught to us in school? Would you say a lot or a little?
A little.
Now,
Slightly.
exactly. Now, Miss just said the fact that this information is barely taught to me, you and your daughter in school, would you say that's a good or a bad thing?
Bad.
Why? Because we go to school for what, 10, 12, some cases, man, even 15 years, where they never teach us anything about what? Money. Exactly. But now me and your daughter, we now enter the real world, the adult world, and guess what everything's about? Money, right? How to keep it, how to save it, where to spend it. Well, here's the beauty of our company. I actually teach people this information for free. I mean, literally, every Tuesday night, we do financial literacy classes at our office where we teach people about money, finance, investments, business ownership. Mr. said how money actually works in this country. You see, ma'am, what our number one goal is we like to show people not only how they can save money, but we want to show them how they can become debt-free and financially independent, meaning they never have to work again. Now, Mr. Set, let me ask you, do any of the companies on the screen here look familiar to you?
Yeah.
Really, what comes to mind?
I see you have Fidelity here, you have life insurance,
Mhm.
you have mortgage. That's about it, what I know about, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. When I first seen this presentation, I knew very few of these companies. I was like 20 years old. I heard of Vivint Home Security before, and I think my grandmother has Voya. Now, what I learned is, Mr. Josette, these are actually some of the largest companies in the individual industries in which they work in. Now, don't get me wrong. Me and Destiny, we deal in all this stuff. But our bread and butter, like the 2 main products I'm teaching you how to work in, is life insurance and mutual funds. Now, Mr. Josette, first being life insurance. Do you know anything about life insurance?
No, you die, you get paid. You get sick.
All right, so you pretty much understand the concept. Ma'am, let me ask you, right now, do you currently own your own life insurance?
No.
And well, I know Miss just said, usually speaking to a responsible mother like yourself that has kids, business plans that she plans to be working in, plans to own a house, but doesn't own her own life insurance, it's just...
Shoot the contrary, and I just say the other day, you was driving. I don't know if Destiny's in the car, I say, no, me and my dad really got to get some life insurance. Really.
So, I mean, with that being said, that means you do understand the importance of it, right? You just hadn't gotten around to it?
Yeah.
Well, aren't you glad you met me?
Well,
Well, Mr. Said, I mean, on a serious note, though, let me ask you a question, ma'am. If your daughter, Destiny, was able to show you how you could get the right amount of coverage at a reasonable cost to you every month, is there any reason why you wouldn't be interested in doing business with her?
No.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you this. Now, real simply, what our company does is, well, let me kind of explain things a bit for you. See, I believe life insurance has the wrong name. Like, Miss Josette, you understand car insurance, right? Well, what? If something would happen to your car, you get a new or fixed car. Take it one step further, ma'am. Something would happen to your house, you'd get a new or fixed house. Well, Mr. Set, with life insurance, you're not getting a new or fixed life. Matter of fact, take it one step further, ma'am. It don't even protect your life. What it does protect is your income. Well, we know what? God forbid something happens to you, where your family don't just lose you, they lose all the money you got coming in too. Well, real simply what our company does is, ma'am, we show people how to get the right kind of life insurance, which is term. Why is that? Mr. Set, what this insurance does is it allows for people to get the most amount of coverage, but at the least amount of cost. Exactly. So, next thing I help people in is mutual funds. Ma'am, do you know anything about mutual funds?
No.
Now, you mentioned a company earlier, Fidelity. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with them then. Might have seen like a commercial advertisement.
Fidelity is a bank, right?
Well, they're not just your average. They're not like your Chase Bank or Bank of America. They're actually what we call an investment bank. So they primarily deal in investing people's money. So Fidelity's a pretty big company. Like they manage $4 trillion. Now, I tell you this. All a mutual fund is this, ma'am. It's a pool of stocks in an investment account where you can put your money. So now, Mr. Set, your money can start working for you and make you more money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of this concept called generational wealth. Does that sound?
No.
Well, let me ask you.
What's the catch though?
Huh?
Because in all this, there have to be a catch. There have to be a catch. What's the catch?
The catch is, well, I guess when it comes to life insurance, you would have to pass away. And I guess when it comes to retirement, you'll just have to wait. So that would be the only catch is time, right? But what I say is when it comes to generational wealth is, Mr. Set, God forbid something would have happened to you. You want to make sure you and your grandkids, well, your kids and your grandkids' lives are better than the one you started off with, right?
Yeah.
Well, fastest way to do that for your family is with life insurance and mutual funds. Now, I'm going to show you all that me and your daughter do. You ready? Perfect. So watch this. The average family that your daughter Destiny is going to be helping is a family like John and Mary. See, ma'am, they're each 35 years old. They went to school like me and you, where they did not learn anything about life insurance. And they got what we call, well, bad life insurance. See, Mr. Set, they got what we call a cash value policy. Now, this is also known as whole life, universal life. Ma'am, policies where you're able to like borrow money from your life insurance. See? This is what we call bad life insurance. And I'm going to show you why. First is, well, we got $100,000 on John, and we got $100,000 on Mary. Combined it cover for what? $200,000. Now, they pay $250 a month for this policy, and attached to it is what we call a cash value account. Ma'am, how that works is it's like a savings account attached to the life insurance. So now at age 65, well, they got $76,000 saved. Now, Mr. Set, I'm be honest with you. It's three things I hate about this kind of life insurance. One is, well, first, ma'am, let me ask you, how much would you say the average 3-bedroom house costs right now where you live?
Close to three.
Close to $3,000, well, $300,000, right?
I live in an apartment.
Oh. Well, I'm talking about in the city you live in. Where you live? Fort Lauderdale, Lauderhill, North Lauderdale, Lauderdale Lakes? Huh?
Lauderhill.
Lauderhill. I tell you, if you want to buy a house in Lauderhill right now, it's easily $300,000, $400,000, maybe even $500,000. Would you agree?
That's all. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this. Here's the situation. Ma'am, let's just say, God forbid, John were to pass away, and he leaves his wife Mary a check for $100,000. Mr. Set, is that enough money for her to pay off the mortgage? Take care of the kids, raise the family. So the first problem is what? John and Mary, they're underinsured. The reality of it is, ma'am, they don't have enough life insurance. Second problem is, Mr. Set, they pay $250 a month for this. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I think that's a lot of money to be paying for life insurance. Absolutely. And now, the worst thing is this. You see here attached to their account is what we call a cash value account. Now, here's my issue, and here's why I think nobody should sign up for nothing that works like this. Let's say, God forbid, John and Mary pass away. Mr. Set, $200,000 goes to their loved ones. Ma'am, what do you think happens to the $76,000 they had saved?
That goes to the company?
The company keeps it. Problem is,
What?
whose money is this?
That's John and Mary money, though.
That's John and Mary's money. You might be asking yourself, what's so cool? Who would sign up for something that works like this? Ma'am, let me kind of give you some backstory on myself, right? See, my mother, she comes from Spanish Town, Jamaica. My father comes from Montego Bay. Now, I'm not saying my parents aren't the most educated, but now, Miss just said, when my parents came over to the U.S., do you think America ever taught my mom and dad anything about life insurance?
No.
So, ma'am, what do you think corporate America is going to do because you don't know? Are they going to help you, or are they going to take advantage of you?
Advantage, eh?
And that's what happens to a lot of our people. Now, I didn't know anything about this stuff either until I got licensed in the industry. Now, here's how me and your daughter helps this family. Well, watch this. Instead, me and Destiny, we showed this family how they can get what? $500,000 on John and $500,000 on Mary. Mr. Set, combine the cover for what? $1 million. We showed this family how instead, they get a 30-year level term insurance. Now they only pay $100 a month. So now, ma'am, instead of $250, they pay $100. That now leaves us with $150 for them to save and go invest. Now, ma'am, let me ask you a question. Would you rather pay $250 a month for $200,000 or $100 a month for $1 million?
100.
No brainer. Any day of the week, right? Well, Mr. Said, I want you to know something. This is not John and Mary's only problem. See, they save money, but they save money just like everybody else at the bank.
Okay.
See, let me ask you a question, Mr. Sepp. From your experience with the bank, does the bank hold your money or do they grow your money?
I think they're holding my money.
What? A bank ever gave you an extra $100 of your money? Ever woke up one day, bank ever gave you $50?
Oh,
Man, I've never even gotten $5. See, here's what happens. Well, here's what we know about the bank. One is, ma'am, the bank will hold your money. Second fact is the bank is not your friend. And how banks make money is they lend your money out to other people so they can collect all the interest and give you 0.004%. So here's what's happening to John and Mary. Mr. Set, John and Mary, they open up an IRA, that's an individual retirement account, at their bank. Ma'am, that money grows at 1.5%. And for the next 30 years, they're putting away $100 every month. For the next 30 years, $100. Now, ma'am, they're 65 years old, and they only have $45,000 for retirement. Now, Mr. Set, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're 65 years old in America, and you got $45,000 for retirement. Ma'am, how long would that money last you?
no time.
I give you about 6 months, maybe a year if you budget it real tightly. But now, ma'am, guess what? Now you're 66 years old, and you got no more money saved. Mr. Set, what would you have to go do again?
What?
You don't think this is a true story? I want you to do a little experiment. Go to your local Publix, Walmart early in the morning. Tell me, who do you see working?
Yeah, I know.
Ma'am,
I see that.
absolutely. 65-year-old, 70-year-old man pushing carts and stocking shelves.
Yeah.
Now, but let me ask you, do you think these people plan to fail or they just fail to plan?
Yeah, the blind.
And that's the case for most Americans. Now, here's all me and Destiny help this family in. See, we don't just get insurance license, we get an investment license too. We're not Mr. Set. I showed this family how they can open up a mutual fund with a Roth IRA. Ma'am, have you ever heard of a Roth IRA?
Nope.
Oh, I'm about to change your life. See, Mr. Set, I'm assuming have you ever heard of like a 401k plan?
Yeah.
Perfect. So let me kind of explain to you the difference. See, Mr. Set, there's a bully in America. Do you know what his name is?
Uncle Sam?
Uncle Sam. Okay, so you know him. See, Mr. Set, every time you make $1 in America, what does Uncle Sam want?
You want his first portion.
You want taxes, right? Now, as an investor, what's my job for you, ma'am? How do I make you lots of money, but then again have you pay very little taxes? Well, here's the difference. Well, when you put your money inside of a 401k plan, that money doesn't get taxed when you put it in. Problem is, over time, Mr. Set, while that money's growing and growing and growing, guess what Uncle Sam's doing this whole time? Ma'am, he's lifting weights. Mr. Set, he's going to the gym. He's waiting on the day you come touch that money at 65 years old. So, bam! You get smacked with taxes. Here's the difference. With a Roth IRA, ma'am, when it comes time for you to take your money out, you take it out what? Tax-free. Uncle Sam can't get a red cent. See, John and Mary's monthly contributions go to $250 a month. Well, that's from the $100 to $150 that we now show them how to save. Man, me and Destiny, we showed this family how to get a 9 to 12% rate of return. Now at age 65, they can retire with from $412,000 to $731,000. Now, ma'am, let me ask you a question. I got an insurance license and an investment license. I can legally offer both of these products. Let's say me and Destiny were to sit down with one of your loved ones. Would you rather we sell them the A side or the B side? Well, how'd you feel to know every time Destiny helps a... Huh?
The B side, eh?
Perfect. Well, how'd you feel to know every time Destiny helps a family come from the A side to the B side, or they got no life insurance and investments, and we just set them up with the B side? Ma'am, the company will pay her $500 to $1,000. Well, what that first brings me into is our part-time opportunity. See, Mr. said I'm not knocking on jobs or anything, but I believe if you want to talk about making part-time income, I got the best part-time opportunity of all time. See, man, my average part-timer, they only work about 5 to 10 hours a week. But, ma'am, they help about 5 to 10 hours a week. Just helping about 3 to 5 clients a month, you can make an extra $1,500 to $3,000 out of the people you see here. Now, Mr. said, I know you already pay your bills. I know you already manage your expenses. But, ma'am, let me ask you, what would your life be like if you were making an extra $1,500, $3,000 a month?
Great. It'd be great.
Hey, that's some people's car note every month, car insurance. Take it one step further. That's some people's rent. Ma'am, an extra $1,500, $3,000 a month is a lot of money to a lot of people.
Yep.
So, let's just say you to come get started with me and your daughter in business part-time. Well, ma'am, as far as schedule, you make your own schedule. As far as explaining the presentation, doing all that, in the beginning, guess who'll do all the talking, all the explaining for you?
You?
Ma'am, I just need you to watch it and pay attention. Eventually you realize, yo, this kid is so repetitive. He says this at this point, this at that point. Hey, sekou, shut up, get out the way. I got the hang of it. Now, Mr. said, as far as how do I get my clientele? Well, ma'am, there's a couple ways you can go about that. See, I told Destiny, I don't want you out here knocking on doors. It's Florida. It's way too hot for that. Second thing is, I don't even like cold calling the telephone. I said the best way for her to get clientele is through warm market referrals. What does that mean? Talking to people you already know. I mean, friends, family members, church members. Why, Mr. said? Well, we figured out that working through them and getting referrals, ma'am, I can show her how to build a clientele that never ends. Now, Mr. said, let me ask you a question. If I was able to show you how you can make an extra $20,000 to $40,000 a year and no inconvenience of what you currently do, man, would that be something that you're interested in?
Maybe.
All right. Well, I like to tell you this. If you were to get involved with us, there's only one thing. I need for you to get licensed. See, ma'am, I'm what they call a licensed professional. See, I'm pretty sure, as you know, in America, I think what happens is a lot of people, they come to our country and they might not take, they were professionals in the country they were originally, but now they kind of got to come to America and start all over. Well, I think the fastest way to get through that process without having to go back to school and get a degree for the next 12 years is what? Become a licensed professional. See, as a licensed professional, ma'am, you get paid way more money than people who just have a degree. Like a barber. Do you know a barber makes more money than a teacher here? Ma'am, a nail tech makes way more money than a teacher. Well, I'll show you how to get a financial license. See, I don't plan on cutting hair or doing nails anytime soon, but I can talk. Ma'am, I'll show you how to get a 214, which is a life insurance license. I can also show you how to get a Series 6 investment license. Now, Mr. said all these licenses going through the state cost about $1,400. Now, let me ask you, is that a lot of money?
Yeah.
I tell you this, ma'am, that would have been a lot of money to me, too. When I first seen this presentation, I was a 20-year-old college student. Now, here's a video of our company. Ma'am, we'll pay for it. I mean, we'll cover all your books, all your classes, state registrations, fingerprints, all that. Now, the only thing we ever ask is that you invest $99 for a background check, $25 for our online portal. Now, that's a price of $124. Now, let me ask you, is that price affordable for you?
Yeah.
Now, as you go through training with perfect. Now, Mr. said, as you go through training with me, ma'am, it takes around 7 to 10 days. During this time, what are you doing? You're going to watch and observe the presentation. You're going to watch me close sales. You're going to watch recruit people. You're just going to shadow me the whole time. You're going to do exactly what your daughter's doing right now. Not saying a word, just paying attention. Now, from there, we'll build you what we call a $900 training bonus. Now, for you to cash this money out, I do need for you to get licensed. Now, the first license, the 214, ma'am, is a 10-hour class online. You do an hour a day, be done in 10 days. You do 2 hours a day, be done in 5. But from there, you'll be licensed, trained, and we'll have you rocking and rolling with us. Do you have any questions? Can you hear me?
You trying to sell me something?
No.
Or you telling me that's what she's gonna be doing?
Now this is what she's gonna be doing. But I have a part-time opportunity available for you if you might be open again, make some extra income part-time. What you say? What you say, Mom? Take a chance on yourself for this part-time. All right. Well, there's one more thing I'd like to show you, and one other way you can support your daughter, and that's what we call our client side. See, ma'am, I want you to know something. I told Miss Destiny, we're not what we call sleazy salesmen. What does that mean? Hey, Mr. Set, we actually believe in what we do. See, this is what we call the I'm Free plan. Ma'am, have you ever heard of the I'm Free plan?
No.
Well, I'm about to show you something that no age would ever show anybody, right? See, this is me, Sekou Clark, and ma'am, this is my life insurance. Matter of fact, your daughter just recently got life insurance with us. She just became her first client. Now, because I told her, I was like, hey, if we're going to sit down with your mom, how are you going to sit there and try to offer your mom something you ain't even got it for yourself? Because they say, no, you're not that serious, right? Well, let me show you what I do for myself. Mr. Said, I pay $69 a month for my life insurance. Now, granted, I got my insurance when I was very young. I was 20 years old. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. People say, Sekou, why do you have life insurance? Well, ma'am, I think it's a responsible thing to do. I want to make sure, Mr. Said, God forbid anything would have happened to me, my mother, my little sister, they're taken care of. Does that make sense? Now, next thing is this. Even though I have term life insurance, the insurance company allows you to keep my insurance till I'm what age,
95?
I'm covered for a very long time. Now, ma'am, I'm covered for $500,000. God forbid anything happens to me, my family gets a check for $500,000. Now, we have other benefits too. Mr. Set, have you ever heard of a thing called inflation?
Inflation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of inflation.
Okay, so we know what? $500,000 now won't be the same $500,000  10 years from now. Ma'am, our company, we do 10% increases for the next 10 years to keep pace with inflation. Mr. Set, 10 years from now, I'll be covered for $1 million. Let's say I don't die, but I were to get terminally ill, critically ill, I get into a condition I just can't work anymore. Because we find most people don't just pass away, they catch some sort of disease or illness as they get older in age. Well, the company allows me to access 70% of whatever I'm covered for. Ma'am, that's $350,000 cash I can use for medical expenses, treatments, even cures. Now, Mr. Set, let me ask you a question. Ma'am, who do you know that pays $70 a month for a bill that'll bring their family back $500,000 to $1 million and help if they catch cancer?
Nobody.
All right, other than me and your daughter. Right now, let me ask you a question. How much would you say the average phone bill costs?
$95.
Now, question, what is that phone bill going to do for your family if something happens to you? Now, that's why and I say this in comparison just because I like to say life insurance is your cheapest bill, but also your most necessary bill. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, can I tell you something real controversial, Mr. Set? Ma'am, I don't want you to have life insurance forever. Do you know what I really want you to have? $1 million cash. Because, see, I realize you're going to have two problems you're going to face in life. Like, let me ask you a question, ma'am. How old is your youngest child?
20.
20? All right. You see, I don't think you need life insurance forever. But honestly, I think after the next 10 years, after you get your house, get your mortgage, other than to cover your mortgage, your need for life insurance is going to get pretty low.
Yep.
But do you know what's going to be on your mind in the next 30 years? Or probably next 20 years? Retirement. Mr. Set, how do you stop having to work? Well, let me show you the second part of me and your daughter's I'm Free plan. Here's what we do. Ma'am, I opened up a mutual fund with a company called Fidelity. Now, I want you to know something, Mr. Set. Fidelity will change your life. I opened up this mutual fund with just $25. Now, I put away about $500 a month in my Roth IRA. Now, ma'am, this is my game plan for the next 25 years. 25 years from now, whether Primerica works or not, I'm not working. But why is that? Ma'am, me putting away $500 each month, that's $6,000 each year. By the end of it, I'd have put away $160,000. You see that? Well, because my money's in a Roth IRA, when it comes time for to take my money out, how much taxes do I have to pay?
Zero time.
Me.
Zero.
Now, ma'am, my money averaging a 12.40. You hear me? My money averaging a 12.49% rate of return. Mr. Set, how much money would I have in market value? Question, I'll be 46 years old. Will Chase Bank do that for you? Bank of America, TD, Wells Fargo, under the shoebox under the mattress? See, I didn't find no other investment vehicle that could grow my money the way Fidelity does. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, well, you might be asking yourself, what's the cool? How come your money grows like this and the average person doesn't? Well, look at the type of companies me and your daughter's money's invested in them. You ever heard of companies like Microsoft? What about Google? Miss, have you ever used Amazon?
Yeah.
Mr. Set, when's the last time you used Amazon?
2 days ago.
Thank you, because every time you do, me and your daughter get paid. What about Facebook? Please tell me you use Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
What's up?
Thank you. All that does is help that interest hit my money. We got Uber Technologies, Netflix, T-Mobile. Please tell me you got T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Listen, don't miss your payment next month. Me and Destiny need that interest to hit our money. Listen, man, we got Tesla, Roku, NXP, United Health. So watch this. Me and your daughter got over 75 different companies our money's being professionally managed in. So watch this. By the time I'm 46 years old, if I pass away too soon, man, my family get a check for $500,000 to $1 million. I live too long, I have $1.1 million invested, tax-free. Now, if you're anything like her, myself, you might be asking, let me ask you a question, ma'am. How many people do you think have something like this? Well, question, how many people do you think need something like this?
Everybody.
Well, if you're anything like myself, you might be asking, well, what would it cost for you to set up something like this for yourself? Well, ma'am, let me ask you a question. When it comes to life insurance, have you ever seen a quote for life insurance before? Like, ma'am, do you happen to have any idea how much it would cost you?
No.
All right. Well, as I kind of mentioned earlier, I mean, if your daughter was able to show you something affordable for you, something that made sense financially, would that be something you'd be open to taking a look at? All right. Now, give me 1 second. Now, question, ma'am, do you have any medical problems, anything like that? Hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes? Healthy as a horse? I know you Bahamians eat good. I would assume you guys healthy. All right, so let me show you a thing we call the money commitment. Because whatever numbers I show you, I want to make sure it's something affordable for you, something that makes sense financially, all right? So, let's just say, Mr. Set, the average person makes around $1,000 a month. Now, ma'am, I know you make more. But let's just say you only made $1,000 a month. Well, experts recommend, if money's really tight, you put 10% of your monthly income towards your life insurance and investments. So 10% of $1,000, for simple math, that's $100. Funds are a bit more neutral, but they use 15%. Now, Mr. Set, I'm gonna just give you a disclaimer, right? Man, my handwriting is like chicken scratch, but I talk very well. So just focus more on what I'm saying and what you're seeing, all right? Now, 15%, that's $150. Now, 20%.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Now, listen, this is not the prices for you. I'm just want to know what budget we're working with. Whatever it is, it's going to be cheaper than whatever number you pick. So, let me ask you, out of these three, which one you say best suits your budget? 100, 150, or 200?
100.
Perfect. Now, ma'am, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
47.
47? When's your birthday?
January 6th, 97.
Oh, you a Capricorn. I knew it was something special about you. Man, you see, Go, man. Listen, us like-minded people, man. December 26th. You know, Capricorn mindset. We tend to be business owners. So that makes sense. All right, ma'am. So let me show you a couple numbers working with this budget point here. All right.
Alright.
All right. So let's say you're to get. Give me 1 second. Let me play with the numbers real quick. Let's say you're to get 150,000 on yourself. Well, ma'am, that'd be $75. Let's say you're to get 200,000. Huh?
150, 75?
150,000 on yourself, $75. If you're to get 200,000 on yourself, that'd be $98. And if you were to get 250,000 on yourself, that'd be $107. Now, let me kind of explain to you the benefits of each of these. Well, question. I mean, would you be like opposed to doing blood work? Like, are you afraid of needles?
Yep.
All right, so let's just say no blood work for now. So all these are no blood work. But now, if you was to do blood work, it would lower the cost a bit.
Yeah, no.
So let me show you something. So remember I told you about that 10% increase in benefit right to keep pace with inflation? Well, 10% for the next 10 years, ma'am, 150,000, ma'am, that's $300,000. 200,000, that'll be $400,000. 250,000, that's $500,000 by the time you're 50 years old. No, you're 57 years old. Now, also, if you get terminally ill, critically ill, you get into a condition you just can't work anymore, which tends to be kind of a bit more important as you kind of get older in age. Well, you'll be able to access 70% of whatever you're covered for. 70% of 150,000, man, that's $100,000 cash you can use for medical expenses, treatment, even cures. 200,000, that's about $125,000 cash. 250, that's $175,000 cash you can use for medical expenses, treatment, even cures. Now, let me ask you, out of these three quotes, which one you say you like best? 150,000 for 75, 200,000 for 98, or 250,000 for 107?
75.
Perfect. So now, ma'am.
Before the higher one, but 75.
Nah, listen, here's what I recommend. Always start small if that's the most affordable for you now, because you can always increase in the future. Does that make sense? Perfect. So let me just explain to you how the process works. So all we do is we take an application with the first month's premium, the $75, we'll send it to the home office. Ma'am, they're going to do the underwriting. Now, the underwriting process takes around 5 to 6 minutes. Once that process is finished, they're going to send us an offer. Now, listen, ma'am, if we like that offer, we'll sign off on it. The policy is enforced. But also, if we don't like it, we're rejected. And that first month's premium gets refunded back to you. Also, ma'am, once we see exactly what rate you qualify for, we can either increase or decrease the coverage based on what your needs are. So now, Mr. Set, you can see right now that the most important thing is to make sure you qualify and to see what rate you qualify for. Does that make sense? Great. Now I just need to ask you a couple medical questions to see what you qualify for, all right?
You doing this now?
Yeah, the process, you got 6 minutes?
Oh, but I don't have no funds now, so.
No. We don't have to draw for the money now. We'll ask you within the next 7 to 10 days when you'd have the funds readily available. And you choose the draft date going forward. Huh? So any day between the 1st and the 28th of when you'd want the funds to come out. But in the meantime, as you're going through underwriting, you'll have what we call conditional coverage. So in the event anything would happen to you as you're going through that underwriting process, well, if the company would approve you anyway, they'll still pay out that $150,000. And it also goes towards your daughter training credit for her promotion. See, she just got to get 3, huh?
You have to get them on a different time.
Oh, no problem. Question, when do you think, I guess, would be an appropriate time to get back to you to show you how the qualification works, huh?
Maybe next week sometime.
Next week, what day are you thinking,
Like on a Tuesday.
Next week Tuesday sounds good.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, here is a couple things I'd also I like to do business in person as well as on Zoom. Is it possible me and you can kind of sit down maybe at your house or in person at my office, so you can kind of see the whole scope of everything in person?
Yeah, maybe office. Yeah.
Perfect, ma'am. So what time do you think works good for you this Tuesday?
And I get off at 2, so
Perfect.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and I mean, your daughter's already seen the presentation
Yeah.
also. Even if she's at work, you can come by this Tuesday. Or she usually has
Okay.
Tuesday off, so we'll still sit down this Tuesday, all right? So
Okay.
you want to do Tuesday, like, right when you get off, just come by like 2:30?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, ma'am, I'll be looking forward to seeing you this Tuesday at 2:30, all right, ma'am?
Seller, use the seller. You in the right job line.
I want you to know something, Mr. Said. Your daughter's working with the best of the best. Huh?
I know.
And if I were... Otherwise, that, ma'am, is... You hear me?
Huh?
Now, question, I mean, aside from that, what's your thoughts on your daughter getting into something like this? The money she can make, but more importantly, the idea of how she'd be helping people. Huh?
Is it a salary base or
It's commission.
Oh my goodness, so it's not a salary base. It's commission. It's whatever you bring in, that's how you get paid.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a base salary, and I told her this, when we picked up, and she explained, I said, baby, this job is, you're not getting a set salary. It's whatever you bring in, you make, that's how you're going to get paid. I think she didn't understand the fact, so I had to let her know. I said, this kind of job here, this is not a set salary job. It's whatever you bring in, that's how you're going to be determined what you take in home. Am I correct?
No, you're absolutely right. But, I mean, the beauty of her situation versus, I guess, other commission jobs is guess what she has, huh? She got help. See, I told your daughter, I'm not going to throw you to the wolves. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. And now she got somebody who here is going... You see how I fight hard for her to get business?
Okay, so she goes into work for a week, and she doesn't bring in anything. So that means she comes home with nothing.
What?
Right.
I can tell you the exact... What if she comes home to work and she brings in everything? Like, question, you... Hold on.
See, I know it's a possibility she can bring home a lot.
It's probability.
But she won't bring in anything.
Yeah, but that's why she's part-time. But, Mr. Set, let me ask you a question. You open up your Bahamian restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know if people are going to come to your restaurant and buy food?
Every day, that's a gamble. That's a gamble I'm willing to take.
Because you know the potential reward is there. You know you'd make more money as a business owner than you would at working.
Exactly.
So I told your daughter, hey, man, get life with me. The reward you can make, making $500 to $1,000 a person you sit down with, is worth the risk. Because if she just gets one sale a month, that's an extra $500.
Right, you're right.
So I'm just, the odds is in our favor. And now, with you helping her out, man, it'll trust me, it'll help that process for her.
Huh?
With you helping her out, being her first client, it'll really help that process for her.
Of course, I'm going to help her.
Perfect. And if you know anyone as a worker that might be looking to make some extra income, that might want to know some more about retirement plans and insurance, would you have any problem referring them over to her?
No, I won't.
Perfect.
Okay, I won't.
So here's what. Let me get your number so I can text you an appointment confirmation for us to meet this 2:30.
She'll let me know whenever you let me know.
All right, perfect. Mr. Seth, otherwise that, ma'am, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you this Tuesday, all right?
Honestly, I'm really going to look into some insurance. Destiny has one 4 or 5 people there who need some insurance.
Yes, that's what we love to hear. All right, ma'am. All right, so I'll see you Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
All right. Destiny, I'm about to call you straight, all right?
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. All right. So that's the kind of double back on that bag and tag.